G'day YouTube, welcome to Budget EDC and welcome to my first knife review. Today we're going to be looking at the Real Steel Griffin E775. I've been carrying this around for a little bit, so let's get into it straight away. So specs on this knife. The knife blade is 90mm long, that's 3.5 inches thereabouts. Blade thickness is 3.5mm, so a pretty thin blade stock. It's about 0.14mm. The overall length is 207mm, that's 8.1 inches. And what is really surprising is the big thing with this knife is its weight. Its weight comes in at 98 grams. That's about 3.5 ounces. This knife is incredibly light for its construction. It has a flat grind from tip all the way to the back. It's a clip point, one of my favorite types. I love clip points. And the blade steel, it's nothing amazing, but it's 14C28N, which is a Sandvik steel. To be perfectly honest, I really actually like the Sandvik steels. I have a couple in the 12C27. And this one in the 14C28. It's a really good steel. This steel is super easy to sharpen. Got the Lamsky here. Put a bit of a polish on it. Still got some scratches in it there, you can see. But even with those scratches, this thing comes in razor sharp. It's a really good slicer. It holds an edge fairly well. It's not like one of your super steels like your S30V or your S35 steels, but pretty good nonetheless. So let's get into the carry of this. So I've been carrying it around for a couple of weeks now, and I found it to be not a bad knife to carry around. It hasn't got a very deep carry pocket clip. As you can see, it's not the deepest. It is got good retention, very, very strong. The clip is stainless. But one of the best parts about this is the price. I mean, this thing is I paid $93, I think it was, for this knife, and you're getting a whole lot of knife for that sort of money. It's only got aluminium scales and the 14C28N steel, but a button lock running ball bearings. This thing is slick. It's very nice to open. I find myself playing with this quite a lot. I mean, you can see this knife, if you press the button enough, it's just so smooth. It runs on ball bearings. I don't know whether or not they're ceramic, but I don't think it really matters in this price range. You can just flick it open, shut it. So the lockup, as I said, it's a plunge lock. So you can see the plunge lock in there, But this one also has a safety mechanism. So you roll this little lock here forward, and it locks the plunge lock so that it can't be deployed. Or it can't be. It won't fold up on you. I guess if you're using it in a situation where you are sort of pinch gripping it or something like that, and if you maybe press the button, it might fold up on you, but I find I don't use the actual lock all that much. It's pretty good in just the, I mean, I'm cutting up cardboard boxes and opening packages, so, it's not a light or death situation. Let's talk about the quality of this knife. It's pretty good quality. Look at the blade centering there. It's pretty good. These scales are machined really well. There's I didn't find any marks or dents or anything like that. Came in quite nice packaging, with a little cloth and so on. Hardware's really nice. Little T6s for the what's it called, the pillar, or the little standoffs here. So I've just got one. It's fairly solid. I mean, aluminium, it's not going to have much flex. And it's got one T8 for the pivot and another one for there. As for the clip, as you can see, lefties, you've been left out as such. It's pretty much right hand tip up only. You've got no other way of putting it anywhere. I guess they could have put it on the other side, here, but unfortunately they've left you out there in that respect. It's got some good jimping on the back of the blade, as you can see, along the spine, gives you a good grip. So let's talk about some of the good and the not so good with this knife. So the good, the steel. I'm a big fan of 14C28N, or any of the Sandviks, the 12C27. Love it. I really enjoy sharpening knives, so I tend to get on the sharpener quite often and give them a touch up. This knife, I haven't had to touch up all that much. A light strop, couple of strokes, and it's back being razor sharp again. Yeah, it's great steel. I mean, it's not going to hold the edge forever like your really good steels, but I mean, it's a couple of strops and it's back to being super sharp again. It's really good steel. One thing I have to say about some of the, now let's get into that bad points. This sticks a bit in the plunge lock. You'll hear now, if I that really loud click noise, that's it sticking on the actual plunge lock, and you can see the little mark there that's been left from the plunge lock rubbing down in there. Now I've tried lubricating it a bit, but when you give it a big flick like so, it tends to really lock it in there. I mean, there's absolutely no blade play or flex or anything like that, but when you do press that plunge lock, it does, it feels a bit, it doesn't feel that great. And fit and finish is everything when it comes to these sorts of things. The other thing I've noticed is the jimping on the back here. Looks fine, doesn't it? Except if you look closely, just there, you'll see one of the jimps. I don't know if you call it a jimp. One of the bumps there has just not been machined quite as deep as the others. You see it? Yeah, so it's like they missed one, when they were grinding that one. And then the big problem with this knife, I find, is its ergonomics. Now, I've got pretty large hands, and one of the things I find is with this basically contour here of the scale, I can't get my thumb in as easily to thumb open the knife. I find even if I try to sort of get my finger in like that, it's difficult to get my finger in. Having said that, with a bit of practice you can get a spidey flick, and it's pretty good fun because you can just sit there and flick this knife in and out. The biggest problem for me is when I'm holding the knife in just a normal fashion, I tend to, and if you grip it firmly, your fingers slide down that contour all the way to the bottom, and you end up with barely anything on the back here. So you almost nothing left on the back of the knife. Now it does have quite a large finger choil at the front, so you can just grip it here in the finger choil, and you don't seem to have that problem. Your finger sits in this one quite nicely, and off you go. You've got good control there, but if you're not as confident with having your finger so close to a very sharp blade, you have to have your hand back a bit, and it tends to slip forward on your hand. And also too, when taking it out of the pocket, it is quite slippery to take out of the pocket. Many a time I've almost dropped this knife because of it. The surface finish is like it's been sandblasted before it was anodized, which gives it this semi-gloss sort of finish. As you can see, the sort of the shine on it, but it's just very slippery. It's very slippery. What else? We looked at the size, a bit of a size comparison between this knife. Got a Kershaw, Emerson. Give it a comparison here. Okay, Kershaw Emerson. I have a Bestech Spike. So Bestech Spike. Let's see, this one's a bit bigger. And I've also got a Artisan Traditional. This thing's a beast. So you can see the three there. Yeah, so would I recommend this knife? It's a tough decision. There's so many other knives out there that are cheaper, that have better ergonomics than this knife, like this Bestech Spike. Now this Spike has just FRN handles, so glass fiber reinforced plastic handles, but this thing has a wicked action. This thing is just absolutely beautiful, and this is like $20 cheaper than the real steel. This one only has the 12C27 blade steel, but just the action on this thing is unbelievable for the money, and its ergonomics are fantastic. It fits my hand just beautiful, little jimping, and just really nice. So it's a tough decision. I don't think this one will be my everyday carry. I have another knife which I'll be doing a review of later, which is my everyday carry at the moment. But this knife, it's nice. I like it because I picked it because of the button lock. Wanted to get a button lock knife, but my everyday carry, I don't think I will. So yeah, whether it's worth it, worth it or not, you decide. Anyway, that's it for today, and thanks for watching. Oh, and if you like the video, always like and subscribe, and have a nice day.